4-man mosh pit followed by Entomb. Oh no!
Oh, a huge light bomb coming in on the Genji, and that's a 5-man light bomb. They're going to follow up, and they're going to get 1, 2, 3 kills.
And it's going to be everybody dying. Oh my god, when does this happen? Everybody's dead.
You ever just get to that point in the morning where you realize you haven't actually talked today, and you're like, man, my voice is going to be rough. Anyway, I'm the Line Boss, back at it again with that casting stuff. And today we have, not E East, sorry, B East, there we go. Division B East for the games of I've just pushed wrong. Oh no, I've made a horrible mistake. So we have Division B East with LTK-Skyfall versus for Catbois today, actually. And we are going to have, by the side of LTK-Skyfall, we're going to band out Battlefield of Sky Foundry and Sky Temple, while for Catbois has banned out Braxis Holdout, of course, I never see it not banned, and Garden of Terror. And for the first map, we are in fact going to Battlefield of Eternity. I can't believe I accidentally pushed the reset button. But as I do try to say it typically at the start of every stream, if not every cast, I do not know who first picked and who map picked, because there's really no way for me to check that without spoiling the results for myself. And I like I like keeping a surprise for myself so I can kind of cast earnestly, cast honestly. I don't feel biased in each of the games. So, without further ado, I am going to almost push wrong button, swap it over here, click the play button, and let's get into it. I will note, I did joke about bullying Goku, or Goku, however you say it for him. I do love him. But when you see things like he's used the wrong skin, which is just up here now. Anyway, on Battlefield of Eternity, we have Your Majesty on the Ragnaros, Torquin on the Bird, Medivh, Nyx on Anduin, Skyflare on Greymane, and Urid on the Garrosh. And on the right-hand side, we have Krinavast on the Blaze and the offlane. Gokwei is on Li Ming. Sir Noble on the... That was a weird-looking interaction. Sir Noble is on the Anubarak, and... Oh, Sailor Twift. Sailor Twift on the... Oh my god, I'm forgetting hero names. Sylvanas, and last but certainly not least, Taldran on the Stukov. I play this character. I'm staring blankly at him like, Boogerman, Stukov. But anyway, let's see how this goes. It'll be interesting to see if Torquin does manage to get his stacks done. That's going to be very important for them as a team, just because he is kind of one who needs to get those stacks up, because it gets his damage up and it gets his cooldown reduction even further down. But this should be an interesting matchup. I think that just looking at this, Catbois win the race quite handedly. Between Sailor Twift and Gokwei, they have two really good race heroes, because Gokwei is already looking like he's going to lean into the Magic Missile build. At least that's what this kind of Force Armor at level 1 suggests. Because there's not really too many reasons I otherwise see it picked up. Skyflare is just burning that camp. However, red team is able to step in now. Skyflare going back in as he is in melee form. Urid has to teleport out. Skyflare goes in. Will also go down as a quick 2 kills for the side of for Catbois. Good stuff. To briefly go over talents, we already have Sylvanas with 24 stacks of Shadow Dagger. How the hell did you... Unfurling Shadows, that's what it's actually called. And that's actually the only quest at level 1, otherwise we will keep an eye on Arcane Rift for Medivh and see how that one goes. Other things to note, body check. Interesting. We'll see how that one goes. Let's close that back up, as we do see teams now starting to split off. It looks like Sylvanas and the Stukov are looking to do their Bruiser, and Greymane looking to do the same, roughly the same time. So B East, they should very much have a general idea of when they need to start doing camps and when they need to start doing certain macro decisions, and it is very apparent that they do know what they're doing. And we see level 4s now through for both sides. Anything major note here? Nah, they don't have quests here. I was like, oh, did Anduin go Piercing Light? No, Anduin went for Correct Talon. We do see now Torquin wasn't a spot of bother, however, Sir Noble didn't quite hit that stun of him, meaning they are able to back out. How's my son doing? Where's my son? Oh. Gokwe's doing fine. Gokwe can be left alone. Yeah, and as we see, we do see the red team of By for Catbois immediately on that race. Sir Noble, however, isn't a bit of a problem. Good silence from Taldran, and kept an eye on themselves to make sure they don't get hit by the stun circles. Nice double stun by Krenovas, hitting the Garrosh to hit Skyflare. As we do see now, they have to back out. Gokwe barely misses that orb onto Skyflare, and we do see now push back on. They're taking a lot of damage, but until that Medivh gets stacked, it's going to be a bit of a struggle bus. And we do see Urd getting relatively low. That's actually Anduin going down. Skyflare is also getting pretty low as well. However, will not go down. Your Majesty using that kind of damage meatball, the living meteor, the meteor, whatever it's called, to kind of get what value they can. And that is first half the objective, going over to the side of By for Catbois. Let's see if they can keep that race going. Sir Noble looking aggressively has found an Urd. We do see Urd now getting dropped relatively low. Krenovas doesn't quite hit the stun. Skyflare, however, in an awkward spot and will go down. And that is all race gone for LTK-Skyfall, so I can only imagine that this is about to more... Oh, insane that. They're going through that faster than I thought they would. Definitely it was Ragnaros, but... That did go over to the side of By for Catbois, so kind of like what I expected, race to kind of go over to the red team at first. And we do see Torquin's now in an awkward spot. Will they be able to get out? I'd imagine that Sir Noble doesn't have any stuns up, and I think he's a bit sad that he doesn't. And we do see the pull coming out onto Torquin, as that is the important target, and the target that's just that bit lower than the rest of the team. We do see now Anduin and Sylvanas swapping mid. That's something to note. Anduin. Blaze and Sylvanas swapping mid. Sailor Twift is now up here, waiting for Tile just to get their healing. Yep, there's that good healing. There's that good shit. As you do see now, the siege coming in, and I imagine Black Arrows may... Yep, there's Black Arrows on the keep. Sir Noble getting that nice double stun onto Skyflare. Skyflare, however, getting peeled, thank you to the throw from Garrosh. And we do see this fort slowly going down. I'm going to zoom back in a little bit. There we go. And that is that first fort down. Skyflare now in an awkward spot. Does get hit by first stun. Does get hit by second stun. Is unable to use the portal. And will go down. Oh, is Urd going to get out? Barely. Maybe. Yeah. And actually Medivh completes his quest in 5 minutes 31. Nicely done. Just good. It's going to be a massive weight off his and Anduin's shoulders. And Garrosh's shoulders. Of going, okay, I don't have to use every cooldown under the sun to keep him alive. Speaking of my son, how's Gokwe doing? Hope you're doing well, Gokwe. You haven't died yet, so it's a good sign. Anyway, back zooming out. We do see that they are deciding to do top camp. I'm very likely to see a decision by, LTK-Skyfall to do the bottom one as well, which, smart play. You know that they would have been at least top, and you know that you can come down now, take this relatively freely in that time. And now Krenovas has seen Skyflare. Skyflare, Flask falling just short, I think. And actually, I'm going to open up talents to see what has happened. For some magic for Medivh, okay. I don't know. I don't play Medivh very much. I usually just go, Oh, and also we have heroics for By for Catbois. What I was going to say is I usually just go the Arcane Explosion for like comps that just want to smush at you, like the Blaze, like the Sir Noble. But anyway, we do have heroics come through. We have Wave of Force from Li Ming, which I can see now has kind of built into a hybrid Calamity build with Triumvirate and Force Armor. Then we do have Cocoon for Anubarak, where Cocoon may have good on Nyx there. We have Mind Control from Sylvanas. We have Tildran throwing in with that massive shove. And, well, he has that massive such. We do see an excellent pull onto Nyx. However, we do have the ally toss from Garrosh coming out. Sir Noble manages to just hit Skyflare, impressive, and also Bunker was last one to mention. We do see Ragnaros using actually one of my favorite ults that I don't see nearly enough. Sulfurous Smash come out. We do also have Warlord's Challenge from Garrosh, Cursed Bullet from Greymane, Leyline Seal from Medivh, and Light Bomb from Anduin, and we do see now objectives are up. Greymane is down. Now is the time for the red team to push in. Also want to mention, Vigorous Reuptake. I don't see enough, but it is honestly one of my favorite talents on Stukov. Stukov's actually running one of my favorite builds currently. I just love it in general. We do see Garrosh says, "You can't stop me," and does get out unstopped. And Cursed Bullet actually doesn't quite find its target. We do see a turnaround of Crinivast and Sir Noble onto Skyflare. Skyflare just rejoined a fight and is sent back straight to the Hall of Storms. I talked about bullying Gokway today, and I want more targeting on Gokway as opposed to on the enemy team. So if you just do that, guys, that'd be great. Cheers. I say that to a replay cast like I know what's going to happen. I don't. Anyway, back to racing. Greymane's only just coming up now. Every team is in position to race as fast as possible. I want to have a look, actually. Sylvanas is up to 84 stacks of that quest, so she's getting up there, like, pretty handedly. And it is getting through this Immortal faster and faster. As you can see, it's even more in favor of Buy for Catbois this time with a bigger shield, and it will be going bottom. I imagine that Sylvanas will have black arrows up, because there's no reason for her to use it then. Oh, Gokway, you nearly got stunned. We do have a Taunt, we have a Light Bomb, we have a Sulfurous Smash, we have a Wave of Force to try Repulse, but we have Gokway going down, that's the spirit. However, we do also have Sailor Twift going down, which not quite as fun as bullying Gokway. No. I will calm down on that. I just miss him. I haven't seen him in a while. My son has been missing. And this is where he is, apparently. But we do see Ragnaros uses Molten Core to defend this for the most part. Tyldran and Sir Noble doesn't quite want to push in without their damage. And I'm going to mute myself while I have a quick drink. I see quick seat to keep going down. We see Leyline coming in from behind, and actually that is Garrosh going down first. Your Majesty is going back in. Doesn't quite hit the Sulfurous Smash onto Sir Noble. Tyldran does use Massive Shove onto Skyflare. However, Your Majesty is in danger. Gokway in the bunker using that fire. And that will be a good, quick 2 for nothing from the side of Buy for Catbois. And you can see they are now immediately turning onto that camp to take it. Then we just see, I don't know if Torquin can do anything about it. He has already used Leyline. Skyflare is now in Orca spot. Does get a nice stun onto just Sir Noble. However, that is a Greymane on a coin to be. Oh, that was sad to watch this and like start channeling it and it just go down. A little bit early by Crinivast, however. Sailor Twift, not quite as off time, manages to get back kill relatively easy. Reabsorption from, sorry, I just looked at it then. I saw reabsorption, I saw the green ball. And yep, here we see the red team pushing in now. I'm surprised I don't see black arrows here. Maybe she's saving it for keep itself. But no, they just decide to... Oh! He decides Garrosh is not allowed to engage and pushes him back. We do objective of spawning in 16-ish seconds. There may be time to quickly rip this, but however, the full team of Buy for Catbois is up now, and they are instead opting to choose. They're opting to do that bottom camp, and the blue team is actually checking where the red team, the blue team of LTK-Skyfall is actually checking where Buy for Catbois is, but doesn't quite find them. Oh, and saying that the fight is now going to be breaking out. As you just hear Cursed Bullet come out, that is already a very low Sir Noble, and Sir Noble goes down first. However, Medivh is soon to follow. Li Ming getting that quick kill. After, well, Medivh got that first one, so a nice trade. We do see Erd going down just before Light Bomb can go off, just a bit damages. Okay, Gokway, calm down. I feel some bloodlust in the air. Isn't quite able to find that 4th or 5th kill. But very good fight for Catbois. They're looking very strong at this map. It looks like a map they want to go to frequently. Krenovas just gets hit by a cursed bullet on their way out, which all's fair to Greymane. If you're a bit frustrated, you'll want to take your frustrations out on someone. Just shoot it. Just shoot it. Are they fire bats? Are these fire bats in StarCraft? Yeah, a fire bat in the butt. I think that's what they're called. I haven't actually played StarCraft. Gokway, you're about to... Yep. Good stuff. But yes, that will be the third objective in a row, going over to the side of LTK... Not LTK, wow. Bye for Catbois, as it was all relatively... That was a relatively bad fight for LTK-Skyfall, which I'm just going to quickly fix their name, because I realize there's actually a hyphen in there and not just a space. Red team is set up and ready. We can see Portal as they try their best to split the team. However, it's a nice stun. We see Your Majesty is now going to be using that Molten Core. Not quite the place you want to be. However, Greymane goes down first. That's a large chunk of their damage down. And Your Majesty is going to be popping out an awkward spot. We do see players hitting them with stun. And when Paul comes out, however, that is two others going down. We lose Medivh. We lose Garrosh. This may be end for Catbois. And we see Black Arrows used. Yep, it looks like they're planning on all-inning. Anubrak is noting they're almost ready for Burrow Charge. That's why they are aggressively postured. We do see the stun, we see a 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 silent, we see a root, we see a low Majesty, and we see a dead Majesty. Ouch. That's GG called by Kreno, and that will be the game. First game going over to the side of Bye for Catbois. Good stuff, good stuff. Right, let me just swap it on over to my game summary screen. As we can see here, yeah, pretty close healing by Anduin and Stukov. And Stukov does kind of have that advantages in this map. You group a lot, and he does have that kind of group pustule, good old stuff. Just damage, Gokway and Sylvanas both kind of did more than the other team, than the team of LTK-Skyfall. However, like, it was very much a... It felt like they have done this map a bit more. So while I think it was a good first showing for Bye for Catbois, I definitely think LTK-Skyfall did have some very good stuff there still. And may be able to pull something very interesting out of the bag coming up to the next few maps. But, well, I say few maps. Yeah, I believe they could take it to a game 3. I hope they could take it to a game 3. I only casted one of those yesterday, and I enjoyed them far more because you're like, which way is it going? Shit. So I'm going to put music back on. I am going to put myself on mute, and I'll be back once I have the next map set up. So I'll see you soon. Right, and we are back. As we can see here, we do have now a Dragonshire after that win for Bye for Catbois. Don't quite know who chose the map, but should be interesting to see where we go. Yeah, so we have Dragonshire again. I casted quite a few Dragonshire games yesterday. So we hopefully... It's still a good one. And hopefully, fingers crossed, I don't have to then immediately cast, I don't end up immediately casting... Infernal Shrines after this, because that happened 3 times in a row. Let's see how it goes. So on the left-hand side, we have Torquin on the Mephisto, Skyflare on the Phoenix, Your Majesty on Malthael, Urid on the May, and Nyx on the Stukov this time. And on the right-hand side, we have Krinovast on the Space, Yoshi Dahaka, Sir Noble on Diablo, Sailor Twift on Junkrat. I didn't even read the name in time. Goatquay on Chromie, and I'm actually gonna have to Taldran on Malfurion. We do have a nice quick clear from the side of the blue team. The blue team is now suddenly looking like maybe they chose this map because that was a good start, and we did see Phoenix a lot through CCL, if I recall correctly, by I can't remember what team, where they just kind of hop over a wall and be an absolute nuisance. And they are actually a good hero to take that solo lane. So I imagine if we don't see full 4-man rotates once objectives are called, we'll at least see just Phoenix heading up there. We do see Sir Noble getting peppered down. Ura does go in of him, trying to give him a little bit of problem. Skyflare actually ends up near a wall, does get stunned, does get flipped, is rooted. And that should be... Oh, what root are we? Oh, we are stacking mana for Malfurion. We are deep roots, that's something to note. We're also deep breathing for Chromie, that is Skyflare down, that is May getting hit by a root. We also Skull Missile build by the Mephisto, and the last quest to mention is advanced targeting by the Beyblade spinny stuff of Phoenix. I can't remember Phoenix's name to save my life, like 90% of it. That looked jank as hell. Junkrat used their mind right as Torquin was getting charged by Sir Noble, which led to a weird interaction where Sir Noble kind of had Torquin flipped over their head partway through the charge animation, which means it didn't quite hit the stun, unfortunately. Torquin going in and managing to find a root, however, does get pushed back in by Sailor Twift once again. Actually, I said before, I made my guess of the side of the blue team looks like with some more practice, but I don't know. I'm going to give up trying to guess. I'm going to give up trying to guess who chose map pick, who chose whatever pick. Because it now looks like the red team is for Catbois is firmly in control for the moment. And saying that, it is still only 5, and Diablo is about to go down. I know it's not live, but it still feels like I'm somehow caster cursing it, if that makes sense. Because I'm like, oh, look at this, and then like X happens. Like, well, that just invalidated my whole point. I believe it was the wonderful Dax who once told me, don't try and predict stuff, because the opposite is immediately going to happen, and lo and behold, the opposite has indeed immediately happened. I'm also going to update that. And I accidentally clicked on Phoenix. Bugger. Also, there's Majesty. Yes, just keep throwing sand at them, Goatquay. And that is, unfortunately, first to go down is the Junkrat for that fight. Skyflare barely going out. The Mines nearly actually took them out, but didn't finish them off. Goatquay's having to back out. We do see objective is up middle. Malthael is getting there. Will Chrono get there in time? No, they barely don't. And that is first objective going over to the side of LTK-Skyfall. That is such unfortunate stuff for Chrono, but very lucky if you are whoever's in Malthael, whoever Malthael is. Your Majesty. We do say now that 7s are picked up by both sides. Torquin goes in. However, I wonder if Diablo will be able to pull off the flip where just as Mephisto is going back, you flip him and he gets just like yeeted back. Goatquay, this is why you get bullied. 600 ping? Come on, dude. Don't do that. Just don't do that. Just have better ping, forehead. And we do see Sir Noble is just flipping that giant in to take out the Siege Giants before they get too much extra value. And Siege Giant, I somehow missed the whole objective. I just mentally blanked it out. I knew it was happening, but then I looked down here because there's a fight happening, and that's far more impressive in it. Objective. We do see Rewind use, and that will be Torquin going down. Skyflare actually getting a lot of damage on the backline. However, in front of a wall, does get flipped, does get tongued, and that combination alone will be a quick 2 kill for the side of LTK, not LTK, by for Catbois. But this is what I was saying, like, while yes, the last map did feel quite like a strong map for the side of buy for Catbois, this is feeling like it can swing in any given direction. It can go back and forth. Did Nexus choose longer? Yeah, they did. Oh, that is an unfortunate spot, as that is Stukov getting stunned. However, the rest of the red team can't quite follow up. Gokwei doesn't have that movement this time of Li Ming, and Sailor Twift didn't quite have mine in a good spot for it. That is an excellent stunt by Yurid, getting the team back into that mine. That is actually Gokwei and Taotran getting relatively low. We do see Rewind coming out on Mei, making sure she doesn't follow them in. Gokwei getting relatively low. Torquin auto attacks aren't quite strong enough to take down the Chromie. However, speaking about being taken down, that is Diablo going down as we're now 4 kills to 4 kills with relatively even experience. So as Dahaka is now going to slowly Yoshi walk back on up to top lane. Diablo did have Soulstone up, however, so they are already back, so it's not a major issue. And Tens are actually through from relatively both at the same time. Torquin is scouting the camp. Would maybe save that Sailor Twift, as we do see now. Ults is going to start being used. Urid goes in. Urid is Avalanche, good thing to note. There is Meme Beam from the Tassadar, which was cancelled out. Not Tesla, Phoenix, which is actually cancelled out by the isolation from Dahaka. We see Sailor Twift uses the Junkrat bomb, while we see Gokwei has managed to get down that Rewind. And oh my gosh, there's so much that had happened there. We do see actually Sir Noble getting relatively low. Thankfully, there is no Malfoy around, because Malfoy could just last rights half the team, honestly 2/5 of that team right now, and just they'd be gone. Other things to note that I didn't quite see in there was Flailing Swipes from Stukov, Durance of Hate from the Mephisto, Twilight Dream I may have missed from the Malfurion, which wasn't the fact used, I just missed it. And that's a dead Gokwei. Where did Chromie's body go? Oh, there it is. Yes, there we go. And the last thing I need to mention is Apocalypse by Diablo. You see Mei just eating that trap. We do see Sir Noble getting slid on. That is a Sun. That's a good cleanse by Malfurion. Did click up a Cleansing Leaf at level 7, whatever it's called, Nature's Cure. But however, that will still be bot building going over to the side of LTK-Skyfall as... Is that warped? Yeah. Warp Warfare is a lot of attack damage. We see Root coming up by Taldrin. However, not quite enough. Phoenix is considering going into them. However, it just does an aggressive teleport and takes down building either way. That is now a very quick 2 buildings by LTK-Skyfall, putting them pretty comfortably in the lead in terms of structures at least, which with their passive experience will, over time, give them that extra kind of benefit and get them further and further ahead. It's not quite something you want if you're buy for Catbois, but it's not the end of the world. There'll be always another Catboy to find. As we do now see Malfurion using that silence, because Mei looks like she is looking for Avalanche. It was on cooldown and she was unable to use it. However, Sir Noble and Taldran do get hit by that Mephisto Shade of Durance. Sir Noble is now at Orca spot. Does get slid back into the... Oh! Such unfortunate timing. Unfortunately, with the charge, he managed to charge Mei right as she is starting her slide. So, essentially what happened is the 2 abilities cancelled out each other. So, charge was cancelled, Mei slide was stopped, but Diablo was pushed back into the Meme Beam of Phoenix of Planet Cracker, and they are taken down along with a Mei who is no longer able to escape tower range. Thank you to Diablo's charge. So neither had the intended effect, but both somehow ended up with kills. And that is Gokwei. Time stop doesn't stop that one. Nope, the time stop does not stop the last rites. The only thing that would stop it is a stasis such as Ice Block, Phase Out. We do see charge going onto Your Majesty. Chronovast getting relatively low. Does have to back out. And we see Sir Noble is trying to still give their souls back, if I recall correctly. Yeah, they're only halfway through souls at the moment. Thankfully for Diablo, there was that change a little bit back where... What's the words I'm looking for? Where he only goes to 25 souls after level 10, as opposed back to 0. Chronovast down, awkward spot. We do see mine coming out. We do see a slow actually coming out from Stukov. Burrow does get used now that they're finally out of that slow silence. However, they're barely getting out. Skyflare doesn't quite make it. Sailor Twift gets taken out by the strong arm of Stukov. May is also then soon to follow. Krinovar's backing out because we don't know how long is. They don't know how long it is the last rights, which we can see. It was actually up pretty soon. And we can see there was an attempt on the flip. You can see the animation start just as he left the range. That's super unfortunate for the Diablo of Cernoble just barely missing out on that window. It is a relatively tight window, to be fair. Like, you can't expect to hit it every time. But, yeah, it's just super unfortunate timing for him. Very lucky for Your Majesty, as just it's something that you can avoid. Cernoble gets a stun onto Your Majesty. Doesn't quite get the flip into the route as you expect. As we do see Your Majesty take a bit of damage. Thank you to Gokwe's deep breathing. Dragon Breath. And now that the Space Yoshi Dahaka has taken top. Oh, that is not what you want to see if you're Mephisto. And Mephisto is going to go down. We do see Cernoble getting a nice push onto Your Majesty. Your Majesty is now an awkward spot away from the team. We did see Sailor Twift try to get that out in time. Does get stunned, does get unstopped. However, Chromie will still find the kill with that Dragon's Breath. That is a good fight for the side of Buy for Catbois. Like, this is feeling so back and forth, man. Because, like, yeah, we have kills. We have more kills by Buy for Catbois, but LTK-Skyfall does have that structure advantage and has gotten that objective already. Speaking of which, we are still on the second objective, if I recall correctly. And it looks like the red team is actually going to take it over, as I think Stukov realized. Oh! Nope, there's Planet Cracker. Go great, it's still going, it's still going. Yep, you can take it now, bud. We do have Stukov slowing him down just a little bit longer. Urid gets into an awkward situation, as we do see Mephisto trying to get up the damage. They managed to stall out Gokwe so far from capping it. However, that will be the end of that as they finally get the cap off on. Oh great, I've actually clicked on someone. As they do manage to finally get the cap out on the Dragon Knight. However, Torquin now in an awkward spot. Does get hit by stun, does get hit by another stun. And Gokwe just booted Malphite. Torquin going back in with that shade. Doesn't actually go down. Actually, it is the Junkrat who is down first. That is disastrous if you're the side of Buy for Catbois. You would think you'd have the advantage here. You have the DK. You got the Mephisto caught out. However, you just couldn't quite find that ending. Oh, Dahaka burrows out and leaves Tarf himself. So that is the last rights, and that is another kill for this side of LTK-Skyfall. And all of a sudden, the kill count is even. We are at 11-11. And we do have Gokwe's mech. We do have the Dragon Knight being popped, and the rest of the red team's able to get relatively out. We do see a stun route coming out. Thank you to Torquin on the Diablo. However, nothing will be found for that, and I'm going to take a quick another drink. Yep, I like that aggressive choice from the side of LTK-Skyfall. Because, like, yeah, most of the red team was down at the time. May as well take the camps of Buy for Catbois while they can't really contest it too easily. They didn't have a healer, they didn't have half the kit. But we do see now Dahaka has started the top camp. And we just have this bottom neutral bruiser camp also being taken. A camp I've fed on many a times. Valiantly risking my life on that camp. I'd say more stupidly risking my life for that camp, going, this is mine now, job done, and just taking it. But we do see we are coming up to some pretty safe spots. Next objective should be called relatively soon, I'd imagine. And I imagine that it would be the last objective of a game if it isn't a team-wide. Before then, we see Urid getting swapped, we see Slide going in. I imagine we're going to see an Avalanche not quite find its target. That means I thought Krino just appeared from Avalanche. No. But that does mean that Krino is left high and dry. We actually see double rewind from Gokwe as we do actually have tired, cancelled Torquin's not Shadow Mist, so we had Torquin's Endurance of Hate cancelled. We see Malfurion go down first. We see Stukov taking down the Chromie second. We don't see that hit the next one, but however, Diablo did go down third, and Shadow Mist didn't quite find its target. However, it didn't need to, as that is objective. As that is just the blue team going to aggress into now by for Catbois fort. We do see Tongue trying to come out onto Your Majesty, doesn't quite find its target as they were silenced partway through. And actually Shade of Mephisto is the thing that gets the kill there onto Sailor Twift. I had to remember the name. I'm bad at names. I'm sorry if I forget your name throughout any of these casts. It's just kind of how my head goes sometimes. I'm just bad at that. So sorry, so sorry. And we do see now, yeah, blue team is looking getting objective. They may have taken a bit too long because a lot of the red team of by for Catbois will be up by that time. But it definitely feels like LTK-Skyfall is in control, especially now that they have Storm talents, as we do see Pox Populi. No, this is Pox Populi. Yeah, Bio Explosion switch from Stukov. We see the actual, not a talent you see often, but Shade Lord from Mephisto, so you can swap back to your original Shade location, so you don't do that, and you get a gain of all level 7 benefits. No one can stop death from the Malpheo, and Arsenal Synergy? Singularity Charge from the... Wait, where's Arsenal Synergy? Arsenal Synergy is like back here somewhere. We're seeing Singularity Charge from the Phoenix. And things are on the right side of... And the other side we do have Double Rewind from Chromie. But that is just because she gets a talent 2 levels early. That is Malpheo going down. That's not what you want to see right now, as we do have Torquin going to Shade. Does go back to that original spot thanks to Chromie. There's actually a chaotic fight so far. Dragon Knight trying its best to get damage on the core, but does have to actually back out, as they did manage to... I feel like we're seeing a common theme of someone loses someone when they have a DK. Doesn't manage to get this hit onto Cerno, but they want. Your Majesty did actually pop No One Can Stop Death, so we do see they are back now. Mei is stuck in that isolation. It does actually hit everyone. We do see now 20s are through for the side of Buy for Catbois. Double stun from the Apocalypse. Isn't actually able to find a further target. We do see Last Rites barely didn't take out Sir Noble. Sir Noble barely got the heal off before, or at least Taildran barely got a heal off before the Last Rites could take it out. And that is a very unfortunate moment if you're Your Majesty. And we do see Krenovast is kept alive. Thank you to Gokway's traps as well. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fighting at this core, but no damage was done to it. Uro doing the best to zone him off. Torquin does manage to go out for a bit. We do imagine see a swap here, and that is flailing swipes coming out, because keep in mind it isn't Control Chaos, it is just still the base flailing swipes. We see now Diablo's in an awkward spot, however they do have Soulstone up, so they will be coming back in just 5 seconds. As we do see now, oh, also Junkrat went down partway through that. I must have missed that entirely, as we do now have Krenovast getting Pepper down. Sir Noble looking to go back in, and this is, again, it feels like LTK-Skyfall was on the verge of ending, but they decide to not, even after getting those 2 kills. Now that it's died out down a bit, and we're just looking at stealing camps. Just going to have a quick note, we do also have Hellgate from Diablo, Extra Oomph from Junkrat, Life Bloom from Malfurion, Apex Predator. Yep, Apex Predator from Dahaka, as the side of LTK-Skyfall is getting very aggressive, taking these camps. The side of Buy for Catbois is still down 1, so it's only like reasonable that they do that. You don't have to stop. They can't just stop that from happening. And Gokway scouts camp, find out no one is still there. It looks like it's just going to be a bit of damage control for a brief moment for Buy for Catbois. As the side of LTK-Skyfall decides to possibly take that top cop, tower, camp, whatever you want to call it. We do see Silence coming out into 2 members. We do see Mei getting aggressive. We see Double Rewind on Torquin, doesn't actually manage to find his target. Skyflare, meanwhile, fighting Krenovast in the backline. Cleanse coming out from Malfurion, does get... We do see Urd manages to have Avalanche on Chromie. Chromie is not in the spot she wants to be in. She's just going to burn down that timer and go down to the... Oh, we see Chromie go down to the Malpheo. However, Mei goes down to the other 4-man when she is still on the Bridge of Death. That's the reason why it is even called the Bridge of Death. Skyflare getting relatively aggressive, charging into the team. However, Sir Noble is going relatively low, 50% damage, and we do see that Last Rites finding its kill once again. How many stacks for Last Rites are we at? 3. That's more than I get in a game. I'm not a good Malpheo. He is fun-ish. I'm not the biggest fan of him. But he can definitely have his moments of, actually, this hero is kind of fun, not gonna lie, not gonna lie, not gonna lie. We do now have a 4v3 for both sides, and I imagine that we may see Torquin get into this objective this time, as they don't quite have the siege damage. Oh. Makes sense, just stall it up. Junkrat is very good for stalling out those objectives like that, but we do see Core is actually currently dropping as we have 3 catapults on it. But Chromie is now on it herself and will be going those out in just a few moments. Is that even those few moments they're on, they got 11%, and Your Majesty does actually find the DK. And we do see that is Junkrat going down when they try to use that Riptide. Torquin loses a lot of health thanks to that. I don't actually remember what it's called. Basically that martyrdom talent where once they die, they drop a bunch of mines at their feet and just go through the fort, man. It's right there. It's like, this is a... Yeah, look at Urid. Urid knows what's up. Urid's like, I'm a tank. I can go through here. You're a DK. You can go through here. Chronovast doesn't quite hit the tongue. Root comes out. Manages to find for Mei, however. That is isolation coming out onto Mei. Mei, honestly, not too bothered. Kind of just walks at the core. We do see the Avalanche pushing away. Hellgate comes out from Sir Noble, does try to get the stuns. GG calling by Sailor Swift, and that will be Core going down, and the Phoenix, they managed to at least find the Phoenix on the way out, but that is the second game of the series, actually going over to LTK-Skyfall. So just like I thought, that the next, so just like I said last map, that this one here will be it will probably be an even enough one to make it a map 3, and we do indeed see it. So let us swap over to this screen here. As I'm going to click this button, and yeah, we do see that pretty much even healing by Stukov and Malfurion again, slightly favored in Stukov's corner. But in general, like, sure, while we did see Junkrat and Chromie did a decent amount of damage, just feels a high level of late game like fight by the side of LTK-Skyfall. Definitely they felt comfortable on this map, and they felt like they're actually very comfortable with the heroes they had. You see Skyflare and Torquin basically even on damage, very even on Siege, and then Mephisto very even on Siege, very even on the Soak. Like, it's all, it felt like it came together this game more for LTK-Skyfall. I don't know if it's because they had a kind of more standard comp for this map, and it's because it's not your racing objective and it's more your fighting. So it is a far better kind of map for them. However, this is now going to go to a map 3, and it should be good to watch because it could go. It feels like it can go either way. This doesn't feel like a fluke win. This very much feels like LTK has made their statement to buy for Catbois, going, you know what? No, we're in this still. You're going to have to work for it if you want to win. So, without much more, I'm going to put it on some music, put myself on mute, I'll be right back. I want to make it known that this is the 5th game in a row. 5th game in a row. I'm casting Dragonshire to be followed up by Infernal Shrines. Bloody hell. Right, as we can see, it's now 1 all apiece. Buy for Catbois took the Battlefield of Eternity, LTK-Skyfall took Dragonshire, and now we have that final map of Infernal Shrine. So, without much more, let's get into it, as I'm going to push a few buttons as we prepare ourselves for Battles Heroes. We have Gokwan and Sylvanas, we have Sailor Twift on the Mephisto, Sir Noble on the Bug, Anubarak, Krenovast is on Arthas, and Taldran is on the Stukov, so once more we've swapped back to kind of how we were before. On the other hand, we have Nyx on Anduin, Skyflare on the Greymane, Torquin on the Junkrat, Urid on Diablo, and Your Majesty on Dahaka. So we have a relative actual swap around of heroes, so we just kind of keep taking them from each other. So I imagine actually the red team had first pick here, map pick was chosen, but so I imagine by for Catbois chose first pick. Hard to say for certain. We do have Sailor Twift, why did you do that? So we do have Sir Noble and Sailor Twift pushing top, we have Sylvanas and Gokwe pushing bottom, we had Stukov just anchoring the middle to make sure no one kind of suspected too much. Krenovast is managing to get out without taking out. Run upwards, yeah, there we go, nice dodge. Yeah. Anyway, let's have a look at Talents now that that kind of first excitement's over where his cheese was coming out strong. In terms of quests, we have Brush Stalker, Enhanced Agility Dahaka, and Mephisto went to the Skull quest, as well as Frost Presence, Unyielding Power and Frost Presence from Arthas. So, interesting start from the red team of buy for Catbois, as they do give it aggressive kind of start. Greymane is just taking this cam. One of the best cam takers in the game. Greymane is known for his ability to it, because like look how fast it's just going down at level 2. Torquin goes down to help, but it's basically done at this point. Sailor Twift scouts for camp, does not quite hit that skull missile, is missing some stacks. Gokwe getting relatively low as kind of a healer, as I said, has been anchoring that mid. Now we have Gokwe just kind of pushed up. Heal comes up from Taldran, does heal, gets Stukov and Sailor Twift and Sir Noble with it. We do have Krenovast trying his best to double soak on an Arthas of all heroes. Or at least just picking up the lost soak that is on the ground and trying to cancel out the soak that Your Majesty is trying to get. At least for Arthas, they can kind of keep up with Dahaka for now. However, there is a good 5-man team fight going on down here, as the red team is wanting that camp. Urid having to get pulled out, so Noble getting a nice double stun, Torquin getting relatively low. There'll be Torquin going out first. Your Majesty is also relatively low as well, does get nice double stun from Sir Noble. Urid pushes in, that's not quite maybe what you want to do, as Urid will go down next. Skyflare was able to get out. That is unfortunate timing. Wait, everything okay? We already count us down, Urid. Oh, okay. Right, I see. There was apparently a pause probably partway through the Greymane's roll, I'd imagine. But it looks like the teams are back. And who is Urid? Is Urid Diablo? Yeah, oh, that's unfortunate. As Diablo went in and must have disconnected immediately. But sometimes it does just happen. And I think Gokwe had issues with ping the game before this, back on Dragonshire. So that could very likely be what's happening here today. Just people having weird issues with ISPs or whatever their provider is. As we do see now, Krenovast gets hit by Urid. We see a nice double stun by Sir Noble. Does walk out. He's not... He being Anubarak. Anubarak's not necessarily known for being great into heavy auto attack teams, and Greymane is about one of the heaviest auto attackers you can come across. Nice double stun from Sir Noble. Sailor Twift going in, getting that extra damage. See Krenovast following up. That double tank is such a hassle a lot of the time. We do see a nice triple stun from Urid, as we do have Skyflare doing their best to stay in. Does roll out with Sir Noble's on them now thanks to their Junkrat mine. Urid is just walking away slowly, but is found by Sylvanas' arrow at the end of the day. Both these teams actually have very good wave clear and team fight capability. This is actually quite funny to watch. Team fight and ejective clear, I should say. Sorry, not wave clear, but yes, wave clear as well. As we do see Tung coming out, and yes, it's a good bully on Gokwe. We do see now Sailor Twift and Taldran is kind of forced back. Krenovast sitting in the middle, getting what they can. However, it just keeps getting taken by LTK-Skyfall as they're backing out. Sailor Twift goes in, gets a bit of damage out. Your Majesty doing it their best. Does actually manage to find the Stukov. Does need to get pulled, and we do see now the teams are getting relatively low each. 33 to 25 to 26. This looks like this objective is going to go over to the side of LTK-Skyfall, as I'd imagine that as Torquin means that there is just that bit more consistent that consistent shrine clear thanks to those auto attacks just doing splash. Gokwe does actually manage to get off the E in time. I thought we're about to mess up the timing because the Punisher didn't look like it was wanting to jump all that soon. We see now this building is actually getting torn apart by this Punisher and the side of LTK Skyfall. As I'm going to reset the camera, we do have jump coming out onto Gokwe. Gokwe, maybe I'm not expecting it that time. As we do see now, the red team is posturing back up to defend this now that the Punisher is basically down, and I don't know if LTK Skyfall really wants to deal with that. Good burrow by Sir Noble, as they were in a kind of, oh, you're in a general war area, and there's Diablo on the other side of you and that wall. So yeah, now we're just having a reset by the side of, oh no, it looks like they're expecting the blue team to try and do it. Yep. Oh, sorry, you're on. Aduski's Skyflare did start it, however Dow does get hit by a stun. We do see Mephisto going in, a bit of an awkward spot to be in. As Sir Noble is trying their best, hits a triple stun, however will be flipped back onto the point. And Krinovas is here to take on the tanking duties, as Arthas just kind of wades into the fight. As we see Urid going down, Gokwe got relatively low. Your Majesty will find them with that ring around them that does that damage, and Arthas will actually be the one to follow as well. I've never actually thought of Dahaka and Arthas having very similar kits. Now that I'm like thinking about it, I'm like, no, they're not. But they both have an AoE on one of their buttons. They both have a lockdown on one of their buttons. And wait, what are their others? Self-heal and burrow. And survivability on the third. Oh, and they decide just to quickly take that bottom four. And once again, we're kind of having shades of map 2, where the blue team is just picking up buildings when they can just to get that tempo up. We see Sir Noble is forced to engage thanks to Torquin. Does actually get that burrow charge off at the correct timing. Urid did charge them partway through, but like as it was starting, but unfortunately for Urid, wasn't able to find that stun as it's just a little bit too late. Meanwhile, Krinovas is getting collapsed upon. Doesn't know it yet. Tongue hits. That is the go sign for the rest of the team. We see APOC coming out. APOC combo does get hit onto the Arthas, and Arthas will go down. Anyway, let's have a look at talents. Light Bomb from Anduin, not a surprise. Curse Bullet from Greyman, we saw it first map. APOC from Diablo, not a surprise. Adaptation from Dahaka, that one is actually a surprise. And Rocket Ride from Junkrat. Can do a lot is an interesting choice. And on the right hand side, for the side of for Catbois, we do see Wailing Arrow of Sylvanas, Cocoon Anubarak, Shade of Mephisto, not Shade of Mephisto, Durance of Hate on Mephisto, Massive Shove from Stukov, and Syndragosa from Arthas, who can't quite actually step on the same spot for about 10 years. Speaking of which, we do see that Syndragosa come out, Urid getting relatively low. Does get hit, that light bomb hit, keeping him alive. We don't actually see Junkrat fighting anything with that. Rocket Bomb, Rocket Ride. However, Greymane and Diablo will follow. Greymane is to come back pretty much immediately. Not Greymane. Greymane's the only one respawn, as Diablo had his souls lost in trade for that shorter timer. Junkrat forces Sir Noble, and Sir Noble not quite in the position they want. Tongue comes out onto the Gokwe. Gokwe not in a good spot, does get pushed in the wall, does double stun. Sir Noble tries to peel them. However, that's a very well placed mine from Torquin, as it just pushes Anubarak over, meaning that Anubarak wasn't able to do anything about saving Gokwe, and however it didn't hit Gokwe, meaning Gokwe was still dead on arrival. This objective now, once again, is in favor for LTK-Skyfall. We see me yawning. No, we see a good fight coming out. As we do see, Sailor Shifting actually quite find that Shade, oh, not Shade, I keep calling it one short Shade, that Durance of Hate was missed, unfortunately. We do see Webwap coming, Webwap? And Cocoon coming out on Diablo in the backline, which is not a great place for old people. However, Junkrat will go down first, stuck in that root silence. We do see Skyflare is chasing after Krinovas. Krinovas doing their best to survive. First bullet comes out, doesn't quite find its target. However, that is now Wailing Arrow use. Your Majesty does dodge it with the Burrow. Urid is now in a rough spot. Frozen Punisher taken by the blue side. However, that is 3 kills and a pulled Skyflare, meaning that objective has gone over to the side of LTK-Skyfall once again. However, they won't really have the means to push behind it. And saying that the red team did spread out quite well. Skyflare and Nyx doing their best to kind of push in while they have the chance. This is a Frozen Punisher, you don't want to waste it too much. However, they are just electing to do that camp below them. Sailor Twift has figured it out, does actually see them. Curse Bullet is used, doesn't quite find its target. Krinovas and Sir Noble doing their best to zone out that blue team. And they take their own camp as they didn't want LTK-Skyfall to get away with taking a camp that close to where the Punisher is. However, Punisher did get a lot of building in that process, so I do imagine that we will have Greymane at some point just come up here and take that quickly and run away. Bottom camp is taken by the side of LTK-Skyfall, while for Catbois is just kind of posturing around, knowing that the blue team will appear eventually near their fort and try and take it. You do see camp bottom, we see that top. Krinovas is just taking his time, alone in the off lane. It's nice when you're in the off lane and you just get a moment to yourself. Normally you have a buddy, end quote, up in your grill most of the time, just kind of ruining your day. But now, sometimes you get a nice little PvE adventure. Anyway, we do see a Jurors of Hate being hit on 2 of the members. Urid actually getting relatively low. Does pop Soul Shield, so we're not hitting too much. Nyx stepped up a lot to get into that, to throw that W. Imagine if the red team had their cooldowns up, it would have been a bit more problematic for them. We do hear the bombs away, Rocket Ride coming out, does take out Fort, does take out over half of Sailor Twift's health, and that is Web Wrap, and some slow coming out. Skyflare now in an awkward spot. However, it looks like they're just going to turn around on Diablo. One stun, silence, root. Oh, maybe not. There's a slow on them, however. Diablo does drop the APOC as kind of a panic almost. And that will be both frontliners down for LTK-Skyfall. We do see now that for Catbois is getting that aggressive call. Skyflare and Co looking like they're wanting to do something about it, but they're not doing camp, they are just doing that top objective. They do have a Sylvanas, it is something you can just do. And this is good timing for this top building as the next objective is top. In saying that, objectives haven't been going great. Majesty, you're right. But in saying that, objectives haven't been going great for the side of for Catbois so far. Majesty in an awkward spot. Skyflare in an even more awkward spot. Does get the jump on to Sylvanas. Sylvanas does use Will of the Forsaken to kind of make sure they can't be CC'd, using that unstop, using that move speed to get out of dodge. It looks like we're going to have a full fight as soon as Diablo is basically back as well. We do have Torquin's mine onto them, however they'll be a bit too little too late. Bomb Rider's dropped and is dodged effectively by the side of... I don't know, sometimes I just have it too far down. Is that sounding better? I don't know, I need a new microphone at some point, but I'm working towards that. Anyway. Also, welcome, Kreno. I hope you're doing well today. It's been good stuff so far. Oh, of course, it's just slightly too low. Sometimes it just happens. My beard gets in the way and it decides to get hooked on it and get drawn back down. Anyway, that's a bit too much about how big my beard is currently. Back to the game. We do see top objective coming up now, and the side of for Catbois does indeed have a distinct advantage here, as they do have that top fort up still. They have their tap up still, which Krinovas does use for that quick mana reset. We see Sailor Twift getting an excellent route onto Just Diablo. It was Just Diablo, however, and we do see now that Sir Noble has lost half their health, and Kreno is starting to step back in. Your Majesty actually low to start with. Diablo in an awkward spot. Junkrat Mine is meaning that Sir Noble was a bit out of position to get the stun follow-up onto them. Excellent silence from Goatquay. Skyflare goes low. However, Urid will be first one down as the team collapses on them. Skyflare being pushed out. Does Sir Noble have Burrow Charge? I believe we had our second pause of this game, so I think that's 2 pauses used by LTK-Skyfall this game now, and 1 by for Catbois from the last map. We do hear bombs away as Rocket Riders used. takes out a lot of the camp, and then the resulting bombs take out the rest of the camp. Good work, me. I know how words work. The shaman, that's the word I'm looking for. We do see our objective is going over to the side of for Catbois, as there's not really anything the team of LTK-Skyfall want to do in the full 5-man. And I imagine actually we can get a pretty strong push here from for Catbois. They have black arrows up. They have all the tools available to them. So it's only a matter of time to see what happens. I imagine someone will need to go back to defend at some point. This is a lot of camp pressure. However, for the moment, they're going to see what they can do with the full force, with their full force. As Black Arrows comes out, stopping that tower. I imagine next tower go down Black Arrows. We see jump coming out onto Diablo. Excellent pull by Anduin, meaning that the Mephisto, the Durance of Hate doesn't find its target. Excellent stuff. It didn't even hit because you didn't see that ring go around. Because even if you're unstoppable and it hits you, it does do the damage. It does get the AoE circle down. We do see Bullet come out. We see the APOC. That is actually Sir Noble going relatively low, wasn't able to escape. Sailor Twift does get hit directly on the head with that. Does go back in thanks to how the Mephisto works. An excellent 4-man stunned by the Punisher. However, that is a double kill over to the side of LTK-Skyfall, as we do have these camps pushing in, as Junkrat's now in an awkward spot. Does get hit by Shadow Dagger, meaning they're no longer able to mount. Massive shove pushing Your Majesty all the way in. And unfortunately, Chronovast is there to meet them, as Your Majesty is now awkward. I know there's like stuff happening here, but this is far more fun. No, we do see Stukov and Gokway in an awkward spot. Gokway getting bullied as per good. As we see, Your Majesty is getting relatively low. We'll go down to the next tower, next keep. So it is now a 1-for-1 there. We do see push coming up by Tildran, only a 20 second cooldown. However, is building taken by the side of for Catbois. But with respawns coming in, they're not really wanting to stay around and do back up. At least Your Majesty finds the humor in it all and takes it on the chin like a true champ. We do see now Sailor Twift does use that Durance of Hate once again, not quite finding a target, but okay, Curse Bullet does not work on buildings. I'm going to point this one out now. Skyflare, if you're watching this, sorry. And we do see now Skyflare pushing into them. The 5th member of Gokway still just respawned. Unfortunate timing. Urid pushes Chronovast back right as Light Bomb was about to go off of them, and we do see a nice double stun going out. Urid. Chronovast does pop armor, so I imagine that was... Who actually did that? Ah, yeah, it is Icebound Fortitude, and without Icebound Fortitude, they were definitely dead. That was very good timing for that ability, as it meant they were able to survive that full kind of splash from Rocket Ride. And let me just mute myself real quick while I just have a quick drink what I was about to say before I just started drinking. And now we have 20s for both sides. We have a look at Storm Talents on the right-hand side. We see Inner Light from... Inner Fire from Anduin, rather. I don't know what this one's called. Tooth and Claw from Greymane. Hellgate from Diablo. Not very surprised. Change of Survival. Yep, Change of Survival. We do actually see Greymane going down. Light Bomb tried to save them. Not quite enough. Chronovast and Sir Noble directly on top of Diablo. Diablo is now in a bit of trouble. However, it's actually Your Majesty who takes a lot of damage. However, that Change of Survival kept them so healthy. Made... Ooh, that's a little bit anti-synergy there as Diablo manages to flip Gokway out of the Rocket Ride. Gokway, however, does have to use Bolt of a Storm to survive, which was picked up by them at level 20 as well. We do see Torquin is back, does try to get Chronovast over the wall, doesn't quite do it, and just pushes him back into the center of the lane with their team. Objective now coming up. Only that is a very good Arthas ult. As you do actually see, it's the Syndragosa upgrade, which does a root and an extra lingering slow on it. Torquin now in an awkward spot. We do see him losing half their health in just a few moments by one hero, but it looks like instead of objective, that is an end call by the side of for Catbois. Hopefully they can utilize it fully as Gokway hits there first. Greymane is up in just a few seconds. We do also see that the upgrade for Rocket Ride's chosen, Pucker Scamp, as we do see 2 ults being used in just a matter of seconds. Sailor Swift does hit an excellent route. However, that will be Catbois and Sailor Swift getting relatively low. Taltran needs to get their healing out now, but that will be Greymane going down and in an awkward spot. Torquin trying their best to distract from him, but it looks like that will be going in now as Nyx loses most of their health, all their health in just a moment. They do at least manage to finish in a light. I've also just realized Wise and Duelist was chosen, which is also an interesting choice. Is the red team really choosing to back out now? Yeah, they're looking like they want to choose just objectives. Someone is going to need to... No, wave just spawned. They don't need to defend. But it is indeed something that they are going to go back for, as it looks like they were running out of resources relatively quickly. To cover the other 20s that I have not quite covered yet, just so we have it even for Catbois, we did have Bottom of the Storm, as I said, from Sylvanas. Rewind from Anubarak. I nearly called it Abba for some god-known reason. We actually have the Mimic from Mephisto, despite it not being ring build. I said this time last time. Bio Explosion switch from Stukov, and the Syndragosa upgrade, Absolute Zero from Arthas. And now that Junkrat has used Riptide, they should know that roughly Rocket Ride is back up. We see Sir Noble is just being told, no, go away, mate. Don't want to deal with you right now. You go back to your you go back to your team, your Drongo. As we do see now, actually, Junkrat is caught in their web wrap, but they have to be very on time. Yep, good silence, meaning they aren't going to be able to save. However, Pool does help. Sir Noble does get the stun onto them. That is nice. Double stun by this Anduin. The Arthas ult goes straight through. Torquin being found by it. However, Krinivas isn't able to find anything. Greymane is the first one to go down. We see now Urid being dove onto. The timing for that is just slightly off. Sailor Swift doesn't go back in time to get hit by first shot, but does get hit by the resulting mines that come after it. Sir Noble going deep for that, as we do see Urid and Torquin getting relatively low. However, Your Majesty will be first one to go down. Sir Noble backing on out. Riptide coming on in. Catbois going relatively low due to it. Krinivas also getting hit, but not quite getting fully damaged by it, as you would expect. And that is now Burden coming out. We do see a double stun coming out, triple stun coming out onto Urid, as Urid will go down at the end of the day. GG call by Skyfall, as it looks like, yeah, that will likely be it. Half off objective. Sailor Swift just yeeting that Endurance of Hatred out, as we do see the team just slowly taking down the core, and looks like it'll be game. And the series going over to the side of bye for Catbois. GG's from both teams. Right, let me just swap it on over to my game summary screen. We'll have a look at that, then we'll see how this map wins. Oh my god, I've just seen Stukov's healing for the first time this game. That's a lot of healing, but that's impressive. Almost double what Anduin did. Nice work by Taldran, and yep, this definitely... It definitely felt like it could go both ways for a lot of that early game, mid-game. It definitely, you can see that, yeah, sure, the side of bye for Catbois was picking 1 or 2 kills up more per engagement. However, it definitely felt like LTK did have a bit of a macro advantage as they were getting those buildings earlier. However, at the end of the day, just those kills by the end game, getting that second to last objective just meant there was just a bit too much pressure to handle by LTK-Skyfall, and LTK-Skyfall unfortunately did fall at the end. However, it was still a very good showing by them. Impressive to see all kind of what we can do in these higher divs now that we're getting into like Div B. Very good stuff. I'm going to quickly have a look at talents for anyone who's interested. Anything that stands out to me? Yeah, Arthas. No, Arthas didn't actually complete their baseline quest. It's something I've just, not baseline, their level 1 quest I just noticed. They did choose Syndragosa and the upgrade to it. It's interesting to see. You don't usually see Syndragosa picked. You normally see Army of the Dead. However, it's in the offlane slot, so Syndragosa makes more sense. But very interesting, we see the upgrade Absolute Zero. As you usually see things like Death's Advance and Anti-Magic Shield, which Anti-Magic Shield didn't make much sense here. Otherwise, yeah, interesting to see Junkrat using Concussion Mind Build. You don't see that too often. You don't see Wise and Duelist too often in NGS. You don't see Bucket Scraps used all too often. Like, all in all, there's actually been good variety in this match. There's been pretty good hero... There's maybe not hero variety, we all choose the same heroes, but there's good talent variety for things you don't usually see. Despite me complaining about seeing Dragon Shire followed up by Infernal Shrines, this feels like it's going to be my enemy this season. Anyway, that's going to be it that's going to be this for this kind of series. Good stuff by both sides. I kind of put it over to here and tick this final box, noting that Biful Catbois did indeed win 2-1, which nicely done by the team. As you can see, they took the first and last map. No reverse sweeps, but it was a fun one to watch. I am going to be sick of Inferno Giants by the end of the season. However, so I'm going to say GG both sides. And to anyone who has watched even muted, thank you for watching this map. What I'm going to be doing now is I'll be putting myself on mute for a bit while I get the next series set up. I don't know what I'll be doing yet. I'm going to have a look at the replays, download some things, and we will be back as soon as I can. Just for now, thank you for watching everyone for the first map, and I'll be back with you as soon as I have everything ready for the next. So catch you all in a bit.